Let's see if I can get through this one. This is something that was on my mind about a week ago, and I never recorded it or put it out. So this is another brain dump. Maybe a week ago I was on with Ram and company, and I was sitting at the feet of the masters. We got to talking about various subjects, but the thing is that struck me is the thing about ideas. How ideas have to make an impact, and how ideas are not just words. And it got me to thinking recently about what goes on in social media and YouTube in particular, where it's more about words than ideas. And I know words are entertaining, and social media is really about entertainment. It's really not about information or anything like that being passed by. That does happen, but most of it is entertainment. It's a distraction. And most of what we hear on YouTube, in the Black manosphere in particular, is about words. And there's a lot of people that will talk for hours sometimes and talk, and they'll use a whole bunch of words, and they'll have very few ideas. Even though I try not to, even I engage in a whole bunch of words. But as I've said before, and I was saying on the stream that I was on with Ram, is that I don't necessarily want to use a whole bunch of words or do a lot of talking in anything that I'm involved with, especially on social media. I want to make an impact. Words have meaning. Words can have an impact, but that's not their primary thing. Words are there to transmit feelings more than anything else, and that's what gets transmitted on social media, more about feelings. That's why people use so many words. If you're using too many words, you're not trying to transmit an idea. You're not trying to transmit meaning. You're trying to transmit feeling. And what I try to do is transmit ideas. In my stream of consciousness, it's not me talking, making conversation, and trying to slip in an idea here or there. When I have a stream of consciousness, what I'm trying to do is get my ideas out into the real world. And from time to time I succeed, and most of the times I fail miserably. But the thing is, I want the idea what's in my head, the ideas in my head, the concepts that are in my head. I'm trying to formulate the words to actually transmit those ideas or those thoughts or those concepts. I'm trying to transmit them to somebody else's mind, somebody else's thoughts. So whether they agree or disagree, they can at least look at them, transmit them, so they get a picture of them, so they can actually see them, so they can actually decide whether those ideas or those thoughts or those concepts have any validation in their lives, any meaning, any volition. And I think far too often what we do on YouTube is use words instead of using ideas. I don't think it should take 2 hours or an hour and a half to transmit an idea. And I think I wander, but even if I do an hour ramble, my problem is reining in the ideas. It's not reining in the words, it's reining in the ideas and trying to make them flush enough to where people can catch one of them or 2 of them or 10, depending on if I'm in that stream of consciousness. In a stream of consciousness in an hour, you're going to hear 15 ideas or 15 different concepts. Now, what I attempt to do when I have a stream of consciousness or a ramble is weave those concepts or those ideas together so that makes them more powerful, to make them more memorable, because I've weaved those ideas or concepts into a narrative that can be followed and can be digested instead of these disparate thoughts or disparate ideas all smashed together and none of them are connected. Because if you don't make the connections, especially if you're trying to transmit the ideas, they could be lost or they could be misunderstood. And I think far too many people what they're doing is they're talking. They're using words, and they're trying to mix in an idea to make the words more powerful, instead of the opposite, which is using words to make the ideas more palatable and more powerful. Because at the end of the day, it's the ideas that make the impact. Well, gas from space or gas from the atmosphere hits the planet trillions of times per second. It'll make a change, but it won't make an impact. One big ass comet will have an impact on the planet for decades, and sometimes thousands of years, depending on the size of the comet or asteroid. It's going to make an impact. That's an idea. That's an idea versus a word. And I think on YouTube, I think even if it's in entertainment, what we should strive to do is make an impact, whether the idea is good or bad. And sometimes the ideas are, most times, even with me, the ideas are bad. They just are. But even with the bad idea, it's an idea that you can actually push back up against and oppose it against something, and maybe the opposition will bring about something good. But it should be here to make an impact. The ideas that you transmit through this medium should be there to make an impact. That's what I strive to do. That's what the whole channel is about. The whole channel was never about transmitting words or having a conversation with my subs or the people that listen. It's to transmit ideas, or my ideas, or the ideas I've learned from other people, to at least one person. And maybe that one person will find value in that idea or that concept and use it and make it his own, and then transmit that idea, that concept to somebody else, and so on and so forth. And I think far too many people use more words than ideas. You can make a conversation out of one idea. That's if the idea is good enough, you can do that. But I don't think using the words should be primary. I think transmitting the idea should be primary. Even though it's going to fail, every video should have the intent on making an impact on somebody, whether it's light or whether it's heavy. It should have the intent of making an impact, a change, whether it's small or large, even the change in thought, the change in the way people view the world. I think that's what should happen. And I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority, because people love to talk. People love to use words. And social media, I think it gives people the microphone to where they can actually use their words that they don't get to use in real life. But anyway, I just had to get that particular piece out and make of it what you will. And I'm going to leave it here. So as always, this is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.